Ahead of the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, which will be our best look yet as to the amount of chaos and type of chaos that Kang the Conqueror can cause on the entire Marvel Universe, one of Marvel Studios' VPs makes a pretty bold claim that Kang the Conqueror will in many ways rival and surpass what Thanos did for the MCU. So this comes at us from Marvel Studios Production and Development VP Steven Brauzard, and he said that when they were setting up what Marvel Studios was doing with Jonathan Majors as Kang, that they wanted something that was fresh, that could not really be compared to Thanos in many ways because they didn't want the same thing. And at the same time, fresh wasn't going to be the only solution. Whoever the villain for the next big saga was going to be, he had to be very different. So, unlike the Mad Titan, who was sitting in the background up until they came face to face with him finally, the plan here is different. And the plan is to show you that Kang is powerful, formidable, that Kang is everywhere, that he's strong, that he has a constant ongoing presence, and that he might be behind things that you never suspected. And that the way that they're going to flesh out Kang compared to Thanos is going to be something different and more akin to fleshing out a character on screen like a main character instead of putting them off to post-credit scenes and mentions here and there. And he specifically says that when they came off of Avengers Endgame, they realized that they had to set up a sort of section of the MCU that introduces us to a whole new cast and crew and tells us that this world is going to continue to go on, and also slowly introduce and drop hints towards bigger threats everywhere, and eventually drop the bombshell that a big threat is coming. Obviously, he's referencing Loki. And he says that when we really see the story play out, leading all the way up to Secret Wars, we're going to understand why Kang is a completely different beast, a completely different character, and somebody that fits what Marvel Studios was going for after the Infinity Saga. So again, there's a lot to unpack here, and I think personally, it makes sense that they want somebody that's different than Thanos. And that's not just in appearance. Sure, there's going to be Kang that's CG'd fully, but then there's also just Jonathan Majors walking around in this suit of armor. And I think that's also to give you the distinct difference between the characters. One was more CG, and early on, they were still refining what he looked like. He doesn't look the same in Avengers, or his post-credit scene, in Age of Ultron, or even the Guardians sections. He looks different by the time you get to Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. Here, it's more of a constant, but also there's variables because of the multiverse, so they can really play a lot with appearances, different versions, and also having Jonathan Majors just take the scene and own it for 20 minutes while you sit there and listen to him literally monologue a complex plot about the multiverse. But that's needed, and we're going to get more of that. And honestly, in my opinion, that's good enough for me to get me excited for a different type of villain than what Thanos had to offer.